Hello everyone, and welcome to Superset Everything. My name is Troy, and I will be your host. On tonight's episode, we are going to talk about the top 5 defensemen to take this year in your Yahoo Fantasy upcoming draft in the NHL. On this page, we're generally going to talk about fantasy hockey, and we're also going to talk about gambling. I love gambling, and I also really enjoy fantasy hockey. So if you stick with me this year, we're going to all come first place in our Yahoo Fantasy Leagues, and we're also all going to become rich gambling on my personal opinions for who's going to win. So here's how the channel is going to work, you guys. Every Sunday, I'm going to put up here, I'm going to put my gambling opinion for the week. So I'm going to put 2 of the reasons why I think Vegas is wrong and where I think we can all make a little bit of money. Then I will also go over my yearly analytics of how I've done so far this year in gambling, so you know who to trust, or I guess who not to trust, because that also could be me. And then I'm going to give my fantasy pointers, my who to drop, who to pick up, just real quick. I'm not just going to put a bunch of stats like every other people in front of you and just let you see a bunch of numbers that you can look up on your own. I'm going to give you some in-depth review of why I think the choices that I'm going to make are the best choices possible for you to make as well on your team. So let's get started with the top 5 defensemen that I believe that you should pick up in this year's draft. Starting with number 5, we're going to go with Adam Fox. Adam Fox is from Jericho, New York. He is a great kid, but what I believe is that New York has a lot of talent this year, and I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it all together and develop this kid the way that they should. Now, coming 5th in the league as a young kid is still big, and I'm not talking about the best defenseman in the league. I'm talking about the 5 best fantasy defensemen in the league to get the points. I don't think Adam Fox is the top 5 best defenseman in the league, no, but I do think points-wise, he will come number 5. So if you can, grab him and see how far he can take you. Coming in at number 4, we got Dougie Hamilton. Now, Douglas Hamilton, I believe, will do pretty well fantasy-wise, points-wise. Do I think he's a great defenseman? Well, yeah, I do actually think he is a great defenseman. But I don't think he's the top 4 best. But points-wise, I think on the New Jersey Devils, they're going to give him a ton of ice time. And I do believe Douglas will have a great year. So if you can get him on your team, pick him high, let him roll. New Jersey could even get a cup this year. We never really know. So go Dougie, number 4. That is my pick. Coming in at number 3. Now, you guys, my risk tolerance on this one is off the charts. But if we're going to have to make tough decisions, we might as well start making our tough decisions right now. So with this one, I'm going Erik Karlsson. It's going to be difficult to know where to pick Erik this year based off last year's production. But let me give you a little bit of a tidbit here. He got more points last year than he did in his previous 3 seasons all combined. So that pretty much says there's no way he's going to get the same amount of points. Production-wise, I do believe he will get a lot. Plus, they have Chris Letang. So let's assume that Chris Letang won't play the whole season. Just my opinion, kind of. But he's probably not playing the whole season. Let's be real. Like, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, you can at least be honest with me. Chris Letang will probably not play the entire season. So if I were you guys, I'd take Erik Karlsson about 3rd. You could put Douglas 3rd. Either way you go is going to be a good choice. But yeah, that's my tidbit on Erik for this year. So good luck with Erik if you grab him. Coming in at number 2, you guys, we got Rasmus Dahlin. 6'3", 205 pounds, from Lidköping, Sweden. I said that with a bit of an accent, I didn't mean to, but that is where he's from. It's kind of hard to pronounce. You can go to Google Translate. I'll put the Google Translate right here.
The following pronunciation is brought to you by pronouncenames.com.
Lidköping. Lidköping.
So you guys see what I mean? It's kind of hard to translate. So I think Rasmus is going to have a fantastic season. He is only going to grow. He's got 2 Avalanche players. He's got Tyson Jost. He's got Erik Johnson, Tage Thompson, Jeff Skinner. The boys are going to fly in Buffalo, and they could soar with the Eagles this year. So if you can get Rasmus on your team, you might even want to pick him number 1, number 2, like right off the bat. Get ready to pick Big R on your team this year. All right, guys, coming in at number 1, we got Cale Makar. This is a no-brainer. I may have a little bit of a bias, but keep in mind that he got 66 points in 60 games, point-per-game player every year since he's been in the league. He's steady Eddie. He should be your rock. He's my rock. And I believe that if you do have to pick a defenseman right off the bat, if that's kind of the stage where you're at in your picks, going with Cale Makar, even going with Rasmus isn't a bad choice, but both those choices should take a little bit of weight off your shoulders. You can let your goalie know that he's going to have support back there, and hopefully you should get a lot of D points this year for your weekly fantasy team. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you stick around all year. I'm going to keep working on the setup, I'm going to keep working on the notes, I'm going to keep working on the gambling, and the fantasy hockey. Together, we will become rich. We're all going to get first place, and we're going to have a great year. So thanks for watching, and have a good night.